Hey, what's up everybody? This is Patrick and this video is how to get more profitable conversions with video analytics in Vidalitics. So I'm going to be going over everything to do with our stats and our analytics in our software and how you can use this to optimize your videos and increase your conversions. So first things first, I'm in my account here, and this is a real live video from my other business that ran profitably for a long time. And recently, here in 2020, you can see that it's not getting as much traffic as it used to. So the first thing I want to point out that may seem a little bit commonplace, but you'd be surprised how often it's missing, especially from video platforms, is that you can change the date range here. So for this video, I'm going to change it to all time. And while that's queuing up, I'm also going to make my screen have more real estate here by collapsing down my menus on the left so that this graph gets bigger and bigger so that we can really kind of see what's going on inside of it. Now, first off, before I dive into the actual stats here, I do want to say that you do not need any math or to be number savvy to get huge benefits out of the information that I'm about to share with you. But there is a specific strategy and mindset that you should adopt when using this tool that allows you to just focus on the things that matter, and that will lead to faster, better results without wasting time. So the first thing that we have here, below the video graph, we have a bunch of different metrics. So we have our total plays, the play rate, the unique plays. So this would be just people that watched it no matter how many times. And the total plays would count the multiple plays from individuals that watched more than once. Then the engagement. This is average engagement. So on average, people made it 28% into the video. And you can see here that if we back up on our audience engagement here, it's going to be at 50% right around that 28% engagement. And then we have 1,300 conversions. So this is how many people converted from the video. And we know this because Vidalitics has video conversion tracking. And I have an entire video that shows how to set that up and how it works and how powerful it is. And I'm going to be talking about that in this video as well, but not how to set it up. So if you need that information, make sure to track down that video. And then we have conversions, which is the number of people that watched the video and then wound up converting. And then we have average order size, or average order, which is basically the average value of all those conversions. And you can pass a dynamic value from your shopping cart, your e-commerce platform into Vidalitics so that you can track this, or you can set up a default value for your conversions when you set up your conversion scripts, and then just total revenue. All right, so let's get into the stats here. So right here, we have audience engagement. And this shows you really how far people are watching into your video before they're bailing from it. And really, this is a great metric to start with. And unfortunately, though, by itself, it's not really enough to give you the context of where the conversions are happening and what's going on and why those conversions are happening there or why they are not. So it's a good place to start, but unfortunately, it's a bad place to end. And pretty much any other video platform, if they give you any video analytics at all, this is where they stop. So this is definitely not enough for you to do some deep optimizations, especially not without a lot of guessing and saving yourself time and really kind of focusing in on the things that matter. And I'm going to show you why in just a moment. But we can see here that we have a lot of drop off here. And I know this because in this video, this is where we're actually dropping the buy button. So this is the first opportunity in this video where people are able to buy from this video. And if you ever forget what is happening inside of one of your videos, you can just click on the screen.
Costly and hard to get ingredients and combine them into one powerful yet small capsule that
and it will start playing the video for you so that it can give you a refresher on what's happening at that specific spot in the video. Now, why this is not enough is because you don't really know if these people are stopping the video to bounce or to buy. And that is really kind of a problem because at the end of the day, you don't want just engagement from your videos. You want conversions. So it's not like if somebody watches your entire video that you're successful, because if that was the case, you could just make videos that are entertaining or cute or funny and then think that you're successful, but you're really not. And unfortunately, this is what tons of businesses out there do because they're focused on the wrong things and they don't have the right metrics to track. So they think that their job is to entertain when really their job should be to sell and to get the conversion. So it's not about engagement, it's about conversions. And so when somebody bounces, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. So when we add in conversions here, this green line that I just added to the graph, this is showing you where people are actually buying in this video. And this video did quite well. We can see that it made almost $400,000 over a few short years. And right here where we're dropping the buy button, the conversions are beginning to go up, and they're consistently going up for the rest of the video. So that is a very good sign. We actually call this internally the conversion inflection point, right? Where that audience engagement and the conversions meet each other and the conversions just take off. That's what you want to get to. And you can see that in the beginning of the video, some people are converting already. And you may be asking, how is that even possible? Well, it's because returning visitors that come to this video are able to see that buy button immediately. We don't make them rewatch the entire video. We give them the opportunity to take action as soon as they hit that video. So all these conversions happening right here are from returning visitors that saw the video more than once. All right, and then what else do we have? Over here at the far end of this video, at the very end here, the last 30 seconds or so of this video, we're getting over 26% of the conversions happening all at once. So what does that tell me? It means that these people are watching the video until the very end. They are really kind of on the fence, humming and hawing, not sure if they want to buy or not. So they're watching the entire thing, and it ends and they're basically saying, okay, I guess I have nothing else to do, so I'm going to purchase now. That is why we created our redirect script on our video platform that will redirect your entire page to any other page. It doesn't even have to be on the same domain, but ideally it's going to be the next step in your funnel that really kind of pushes people off of the fence and onto that next step. Because what this data right here tells me is that these people just need a soft nudge in the right direction to take action. So this is why this is so powerful, because these stats, when you really kind of incorporate in the video conversions and you see not only how many conversions you're getting, but where they are happening, then you really kind of start to paint the picture of how effective your video is. It's like a treasure map to the pockets of profitability in your video. Now, I've seen some videos where they just had a few conversions and they all happened at the very beginning, and nobody who watched the rest of the video wound up converting. So what does that tell me? Well, first off, it means that the buy button was there right away from the very beginning, which isn't always a bad thing. And there's many different kind of situations and combinations of how you can combine this stuff. And that could make sense. But more importantly, it means that people were not engaging with the video, and the video did not drive those conversions because people bought before they even watched the video. So it really kind of means that they were making an up or down decision, maybe based on the price of the product or something else, and that the video wasn't doing the heavy lifting to drive that conversion. And that's a bad thing, because video is so powerful and video can be very effective at driving conversion. So if people aren't engaging with your video and they're converting at the very beginning of it without watching it, it means that you're leaving a lot of money on the table, because that video could be working a whole lot harder than it is to drive those conversions. So I'm going to return back to how the video conversion tracking works when you segment out this data, so we can actually see different groups of users based on who bought and who didn't. But first off, I want to show you the rest of the basic stats here. And right here we have skips and rewinds, which are heat maps for your videos, showing you what parts are boring, what parts are confusing, and what parts are engaging. So we can see that we have some skips at the beginning, and really quite a few skips all the way through half of this video. And then they taper off, and then towards the end, nobody's really skipping. And this is really kind of the FAQ, where we're going over the different ingredients in the product. This is a health supplement product. So really kind of, laying on the science, the details, really kind of factual information here at the end. So it seems like people are engaging with that a lot. And I can tell because it's this light orange, kind of yellowish color here on the skip bar. And if there's too many things on your graph, you can always kind of eliminate any of these so that you can just focus in on the stuff that you want to pay attention to that matters most. So we can see here that the farther into the video, the less skips there are. So that's definitely a good sign. But still, there's a lot of skips here. And I'll break down which groups of users are skipping and which ones aren't by going over to these segments. So segments are basically ways to slice and dice your video stats so that you can look at different groups of viewers, right? So maybe you want to see how different devices are watching your video. Well, let's go ahead and apply that to this video here. And it automatically applies the top 3 segments based on the number of plays to them. So for this, it's going to be desktop, mobile, and tablet, which makes sense. These other ones are really kind of obscure devices. I don't even know how this traffic got in here, like ebook readers and stuff like that. So it's nothing that we really need to worry about. So right here, we can see that tablets has some heavy skipping right in the middle of the video, but otherwise it doesn't have really any at the beginning and really any at the end. And if we look at tablets, it only had 1,000 unique plays on the entire video, so it's not a ton. And the desktop and mobile look pretty equal, but there's something I want to point out here. And you can turn on and turn off any of these segments as you want so that you can just look at the ones that you want to pay attention to. Which is really nice because you'll see how you can really kind of pile on the information here, and your graph begins to look like a mess of spaghetti that makes no sense. So these look really kind of almost the same. And the thing that I want to point out here though is that mobile has over twice or just about twice as many skips at this particular spot that I'm at in the video. But if we come down here, we can see that mobile only has 4,200 plays where desktop has 33,000. So that is an insane amount more, right? Almost 10 times as many, but yet mobile actually has more skips. So that means that, yeah, while we do have a lot of skips here, most of it is coming from mobile. And if we look at all of the skips by going back to to remove this segment here, we can see that the total skips is 475, okay? So almost all of that was from mobile, right? I think mobile right around this point was about, 320. So over, 2/3, 3/4 of the skips is coming from mobile. And one of the reasons for that is because when you go full screen on a mobile device, the phone's operating system adds in the controls. And this is something that's true for every single video player out there. Videolytics, YouTube, it doesn't matter. Everybody out there, the phone's operating system is what controls this. So it's going to add in the controls, and specifically the seeking bars. So normally I would recommend, especially for long form direct response videos, that you remove the controls from your videos, at least if it's a long kind of indoctrination, educational video that you want your users to watch before they're going to be able to make an educated decision on, to purchase your product or not. So to do that, you don't want them skipping ahead. So that's why I would recommend removing that skip bar. And with the mobile, it can be added back there automatically. So that's another reason why I would also recommend that you would remove the option for them to take the video full screen. So just a nice little lesson there. And another segment that I want to show you though is converted. And this is where we can have different groups of users. All right. So we have buyers and non-buyers basically here in different groups. And you can see right here that we have a lot of different lines and graphs going on this chart. So it's a little kind of messy. So coming down here, I have two different conversion scripts that are firing for this video. And you can set up as many as you want. And you can also turn off a conversion script from tracking to a specific video by going to the settings for that video and turning it off under the conversions tab. But right here, we can see that we have two different conversion scripts. And the reason why is because we have a cold traffic funnel that's driving a ton of sales, the majority of sales, almost 1,000 of them. And then we have an e-commerce one that's driving the other ones. So anyways, I've turned that off, and obviously conversions is only going to show for the one group of viewers because that's going to be converters and non-converters. So non-converters won't have any conversions. So here we go. And now we have audience engagement for buyers and non-buyers. And this is where the stats get really interesting. And a moment ago, I told you that I would show you how you could look at the converters by segmenting it into different groups of viewers. And this is what I was talking about, because this green line on top is basically showing you how the buyers from this video engaged with it, where they watched to, and when they stopped before they went and purchased. So you can see that a few happened in the beginning, and again, those are going to be repeat viewers. And then a lot of them started to happen right around where the link, the buy button was dropped. And those happen in mass until the very end. So that's a healthy engagement graph. That's where people are really liking the story. They're liking, the benefits, the information that's being presented to them, and ultimately they're going to take action. So if you want to increase your conversions though, you don't need to focus on the people that already converted, right? Because they already converted. You need to focus on the people who didn't convert. So turning off that segment and just looking at this graph, this is where it's really kind of interesting, because you would think that maybe the people who wound up not buying from this video didn't watch any of it, or it was way too long for them. But this video is 24 minutes, and about 30% of them made it almost halfway into the video until the buy button was dropped. So this was engaging content. They were definitely, really kind of liking what they were hearing and thinking that maybe it was for them. But then, the product is revealed and the buy button is dropped. And at this point, maybe they realized that this is a health supplement product and, oh, this isn't for me. Or maybe they didn't have enough information before that, right? So they weren't ready to be presented with the product or, maybe the price or the testimonials or anything like that. But basically, they engaged with it quite a bit because 30% to the link drop, to the buy button drop is not bad. A best practice that I've been told and that I see across my different users, especially the biggest ones that are having a lot of results, are that they're able to get 40% of people that start their video to the actual call to action, the first call to action where the link drops. So that can typically be, 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes into the video. So if you're able to get almost half of your viewers to that point, you have a very engaging, on point message that people like. And right here, it's not all that much different. But these people are still not buying. So that is an opportunity to really kind of dissect. But then another thing that's a lot smaller, but still very interesting that I want to point out. This is where we are telling the story of my co-founder, Elizabeth Thompson. And at this point, we're introducing her and we're showing a stock photo because my co-founder was a bit shy and she didn't want to use her real photo in the video. So right here, we used a stock photo and you can see that we're having a dip in the video as far as people watching to this point and they're leaving from it. Now, let me show you something else. Is that the people who bought this whole stock photo thing didn't even phase them. Now, ideally, we wouldn't use a stock photo, but it wasn't up to me because it wasn't my face, and it wasn't my name and it wasn't my story. So I deferred to my co-founder, who is a real person. I wouldn't recommend doing anything otherwise, but it's just an interesting thing. So, obviously authenticity sells, and that is something to work on here. And this is something that is a lot more kind of definitive and pinpoints a specific thing right here in the video that you can tweak. And this would take maybe 30 seconds of editing. So that is an easy fix to improve the results of this video. We also have traffic sources, which is in beta, so it's not going to be the most accurate or actionable compared to some of these others, but we are improving that in the near term. So by the time you watch this video, it may be out of beta, and if so, then this label right here is going to be dropped from it. We also have Geo, which is going to show you your video viewers grouped into countries. Devices we went over, browser, so Safari, Chrome, Firefox, the other browsers that are out there, including all the mobile ones. It's going to show you how those different browsers are responding to your video, and then new and returning viewers. So how repeat viewers watch your video versus people that watch it just one time. But the next tool in Vidalytics that I want to show you from our video stats is our compare view. And this is where things can get really, really cool, because it's one thing to know how well a video converted or which video converted best, but this feature right here, comparing two different videos side by side, is going to show you why one video converted better than the other one. So this is the real live split test that we did a little while back. And on the left, we have our control. So our video that ran for a long time, had tons of conversions, made plenty of money. It was profitable on cold traffic, and it did really well. And really a trend that we're seeing, and let me just kind of take off these stats here for a second and show you this video on the right.
Anxiety comes from a primal fear deep.
We've noticed a trend in the marketplace where videos are getting fancier and fancier, higher production value all the time, and where people are doing live action videos where they're actually appearing on camera, and it's more of a film studio, and it's more stock footage as opposed to just text on screen or just stock photos. So the videos are getting nicer. They're getting higher production value. And as a result of that, we thought, well, let's go out and make a nicer video. Let's hire a voice actress, get her to appear on a green screen and really kind of, share the same exact message, the same exact script, and see how it does. And this video, it looks so nice that I almost didn't test this at all, because I was like, I am sure this video is gonna work better. So I'm just gonna play it a little bit more so that you can see it. I just muted it so that it doesn't interrupt what we're doing here. But you can see that, this compared to the one on the right, which is just, text on screen, is dramatically nicer. All right. So again, I almost didn't split test this at all, which is always a mistake. All right. You always want to test whenever you can, because you're going to be surprised, just like I was. And in this case, I was surprised. So let's stop that video and add back some of the metrics here. So first off, you can see that we didn't get a lot of conversions here. And this is one of the most powerful things about all of these stats, but especially this specific tool here of CompareView. Because when you compare two different videos, especially one that worked and one that didn't, is that you can see if you're on track to make money or not. So on the right here, you can see that at this same spot in the video, on the right, we have 30% engagement, and on the left, we have 47% engagement. So that's a significant difference between the two of these. And remember, I said that a best practice is getting 40% of your people, of your viewers, to the call to action. So if the call to action is about halfway through, right around here, we're only getting 17% of people to it on the right. So we didn't need to run this video to statistical significance to get tens of thousands of clicks to it, because honestly, that would have wasted a lot of money. It would have wasted a lot of time. And that's also time that we could spend working on different versions of the video or different aspects of the funnel. So really, we launched this, we got enough data to it to know that we were not on track to beat the control video. So this is how you can kill off a video faster, and you don't have to sit there and split test everything to find out if it works. And this test here between these two different videos was a bit closer than most, because in my experience, oftentimes they're going to be a lot more like this one that I'm going to show you here. So oftentimes it's going to be a lot more like this, where on the right, we have a video that just bombed right out of the gate. And you can see that this looks like a plane crashing. So I like to say that this is kind of like, being attracted to, somebody else. Either they're hot or they're not. It doesn't matter what gender. It doesn't matter what else is going on. You don't need to whip out a calculator. You don't need to think about it a whole lot. Either they're hot or they're not. And in this case, this video is anything but hot, because this line just completely crashes. And you can see that about halfway through the video where the call to action button is, only 3% of people are getting there. So it is a very low number. So this is something that is just going to bomb right out of the gate. So if your video stats look like this graph on the right, then you can most of the time assume that that's not going to be profitable. And you can put some traffic to it, see if it works, do your own investigation. Don't take my word for it, because every situation is going to be different. But this is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. Because if it's not working, then you need to pack up and, at least stop buying traffic and, fix some things in it. And if you're going to do that, what would you want to fix in this video? Well, the part that people aren't getting past, and that's the very first part, because the rest of the video might be fine, right? Especially if it's 20, 30 minutes long, people never saw it. So you have no idea how effective it is. So if you wanted to go back to the drawing board on this video on the right, what to do there is that you would just simply chop out the lead. And the lead is going to typically be the first 2 minutes or so, depending on the length of your video and how much stuff you need to put into there. I like to think of it as kind of a lawyer's opening arguments, right? To make a logical argument of why your product is better and different and, the logical option for them to buy. So it's really kind of warming them up for what's going to come next. So that's what's going to be in your lead. And if people aren't going to get past that, well, then you need to go back and fix it, especially if your graph looks like a plane crashing like this one right here. So this is how you can save a ton of money on traffic. This is how you can really kind of test faster. And this is also how you can figure out the exact thing that you need to change in your video without going brain dead or just guessing. And there's just so many things that you can guess about. And video is very, very powerful. But one of the big drawbacks to it is that it's really kind of a black box, because, people convert and until Vitalytics and until you have these stats, at your disposal, then you don't really know why or when or where they're converting or anything like that, which groups are converting, anything like that. So you want to be able to drill down and understand how the different viewers are engaging with it, and ultimately which parts of your videos are making money and what parts need to be reworked. So that is the power of Vitalytics and all that the stats that we have in here. So the one other thing that I want to show you is that if you have people go into your video from your team, your friends, your family, whatever it is, and you want to exclude those from your stats here so that it doesn't pollute your data, well, then you can go over to your profile and add in IP addresses here under our IP filtering. And you can see that we have a whole lot because we do a lot of testing and we have a big team. But IP filtering, and you can name it anything that you want. So I'll name it Patrick because that's my name and I like it. And you just add in the IP address and then hit save. And then that is automatically saved right here. And this is automatically going to remove all of the stats from this IP address from any of your graphs. So then that way it's also retroactive. You don't have to worry about it being in there forever like Google Analytics, where you can't get it out and your data is permanently skewed. But this is in there so that it's retroactive, so that your data is clean. And that's really what all the stats inside of Vitalytics are all about, so that you test, don't guess. So hopefully this has been valuable for you. If you have any questions, feel free to write those in, and happy selling with your videos. Take care.